Hello everybody, and after 2 years we're back. There are some changes. Now we have Altanova, a Doble company. So we have this beautiful stand here today. Yesterday it was a busy day. Hopefully today will be equally as busy. So let me show you a few things which we have on our stand. We have the latest F8300, the power system simulator or a relay tester from Doble. It is a device which has a very modular approach. You can choose whether you want a voltage or current slots, modules filling in the slots. Also there is local input and output. And this is our latest development. It will be a huge success. There is also F8200, which is slightly smaller without the lower part. And it is used for more or less like 3-phase generation, while this one would be for a 6-phase generation. Moving on, our old bestseller, the RTS64, maximum 32 amps per channel, 300 volts, 12 binary inputs, and a local screen. So these would be our protection testers. And then the next thing we're going to show are the circuit breaker testers. We have a Vanguard circuit breaker tester, CT8000, which is used to test high voltage and extra high voltage circuit breakers. You can see that we have a lot of inputs and outputs, mostly for measurement of time, movement, and we have a micrometer, which is built in, as well as the printer. And there is another circuit breaker tester, which is a CBA3000 from ISA. This device has the ability to generate DC current up to 200 amps, 3-phase. We can have 2, 4, or 6 commands, and there are many analog inputs to measure the voltage drop as well as the minimum tripping coil. On the side, you can see the contacts, which can be main or auxiliary, and in general, the device comes with all the cables and boxes as well as the CT8000. So these would be the circuit breaker analyzers. Then we have the STS5000. The STS5000 is a substation test set which is used to test the power transformers, current transformers, and voltage transformers. With some additions, you can also test line impedance and step and touch voltage and ground resistance. With the addition of TD5000, you can also do a tan delta test. You can see it mounted on a trolley here so that you can easily move it around the substation. Now this is a transformer tester. We have some more transformer testers. Well, actually this would be a tan delta tester, which is made for transformers, but you can also test shorter cables, generators and motors, so rotary machines. Generation is up to 12 kilovolts, like TD5000, which we have shown previously, and 300 milliamps. And the device is quite automatic. You just choose the power transformer, then you press test, and after that, when you say tan delta, you just need to say where have you connected the high voltage generation and what do you want to measure. If you are not sure how to make a connection, you press the question mark button and it shows you the help screen how the connections need to be done. Moving on, this is one of the latest developments from ISA. So this is the ICT1. The ICT1 is a tester of a current and voltage transformers. It is a touchscreen device. So when I press current transformers and go test, we can see all the tests which can be done. So these are turn and ratio and polarity, winding resistance, excitation curve, accuracy, burden, ALF, ISF, demagnetizer, and when you don't have a nameplate for the transformer, a CT explorer, as well as the leakage current. Then we also come with me. Let me show you some other stuff. Here we have CAM, which is a primary injection. If you use this guy here, you connect 20-meter cable from here to here, and you can generate up to 2, 3, or 5,000 amps using this BUX 3000. In this case, you can generate maximum 3,000. So 20 meters can be surmounted with this connection. Now let's show some Doble devices. So this is an industry standard Doble M5500, a sweep frequency response analyzer. with the frequency from 10 Hz to 25 MHz. Here you have the source, the reference and the measure, and which is very nice. With the device you also get this reference bridge where you can basically get the response which is always known and thus compare, understand if the device is calibrated or not. The next device you're going to see is a real beast. So this is the only device for transformer testing which has two high voltage outputs, which would mean that when you're testing the tan delta or a power factor or DF, you don't need to change the connections from high voltage to low voltage. Everything is done with one connection, which means you reduce the time you need to go up and down the ladders. It is also a three-phase device, which means you can do a three-phase test of ratio and polarity as well as the winding resistance. The device also does short circuit impedance and no load test. So this would be low voltage generation and the measurement. M7100, a real beast of a device. And then we're coming to the Phenix that rose from the ashes. I mean, the Phenix which is here is the 40 kV DC hypot. So this is to test insulation with a DC method. And then we have also up to 40 kilovolt, an AC method to test all kinds of equipment with, as I mentioned, the AC voltage, so 40 kilovolts max. And then if you need high current to test circuit breakers, to trip them, or maybe to test motors, with this device, HC2, you can go up to 500 amps. Of course, there are ranges up to 250, 125, and 25. Sorry, 2000 amps. That was my bad. And then here, just for a second, we're going to change places, and Martin is going to explain what this thing is.
Yes. So this is a universal AC-DC divider that goes up to 200 kilovolts. Highly versatile unit. Whenever you have to measure voltages, be it in the field or in the lab, you can use this divider. It measures peak value divided by the square root of 2, RMS value, average, whatever value you need. It is battery operated, so it is very flexible. You can use it wherever you want. And it's just a fantastic unit to measure voltages up to 200 kV.
Thank you, Martin. Let's move on. So here, then, we have some more devices. The first one of those is an Aquila from Techimp. It is a device for universal device for testing of partial discharge. Whether you want to do an online test or an offline test on a GIS, medium or high voltage cable, transformer, medium or high voltage, or you want to test, for example, a cubicle, you can do it with this device. It has 3 channels, and with the multiplexer you can get up to 6 channels. The biggest advantage would be the TF map, which allows you to pass from the time domain to frequency domain, and thus cancel the noise and separate the sources. A patented function of the Techimp company. Of course, a fantastic device from Doble, a DFA 300, would be also a partial discharge tester with a plethora of different sensors. You can also test PD on many types of assets. You see that it's more portable than Aquila. You can hold it like this and carry it around. So with the DFA, you test partial discharge in the substation. Last but not least, definitely, would be MIRCOS. So MIRCOS it is a device to do a DGA testing in a substation. It has the accuracy of a laboratory devices. It's a chromatography device with 2 chromatography columns, which uses helium as a carrier gas, and basically whenever you use it, you get the very accurate results of up to 9 gases. So we are checking for hydrogen, oxygen, also we're checking for carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, acetylene, ethylene, methane, and the last one would be nitrogen. So long story short, thank you for your time and see you again soon. Bye.